Hey everyone, so we sit here with just 12 days to go. Oh, sorry, 11 days to go until, let's see, yeah, until the expansion draft is announced at the Vegas award show and expansion draft event. So I thought that I would go through and do our own little expansion draft here and see what the team looks like when we're done. So I went over to the score and I will give you a link to their site in the description below. And I took all their protection lists that they put and that they guessed would be that way and put them in through all the teams here on this site. And it's a pretty cool little site here. It's capfriendly.com. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. They've got all kinds of cool little tools and different calculators and things like that that you can check out. So I'm just going to get started here and go to draft team. And let's see how this turns out. So let's see, from the Ducks, I think that probably the best player here to go with would be Silverberg. Let's see. And it's nice up here at the top. It shows how many forwards, how many goalies, how many contracts, the cap hit, and all that stuff. So you can kind of check that as you go along. And I kind of played around with this a little bit, but then I made some changes when I put the real estimates for the cap or for the protection lists in. So hopefully I'll kind of get through this kind of quick and be able to take a look at what it looks like when we're done here. So let's see, with here, the Coyotes, I went with, let's see, I think I went with Luke Shen here. He's a pretty solid defenseman. He's only 27 still. Boston, let's see. Oh, these are a lot different. Dang it, I forgot. All right, well, I guess we'll just kind of do this on the fly here. So let's see, Hayes, Stafford. So I think that we'll go with Jimmy Hayes here. It's a pretty solid right wing there. From the Sabres, let's see. I think Molson was the guy I went with on my original list, but let's just check. Yeah. And there are three teams here, the Avalanche, the Sharks, and the Penguins, that are a little weird with who I could protect because of what's going on right now, and I'll kind of explain that when we get there. So it'll be a little different probably in the real expansion draft, but not by too much, hopefully. Let's see here. I'll go with Boma here. And it's nice, it also shows you how long the contracts are here, if they're expired or whatever, so that kind of helps when you're playing around with this too. I think Brock McGinn here, another young guy. I'm going to try to pick fairly young team. A lot of these guys will be restricted free agents, but hopefully we'll have enough cap space up here so we can let the team have enough space to re-sign them or match any offers they get after that. This is probably going to be a little different since it's being reported just right now that there's some kind of trade that's happened between Vegas and Blackhawks involving Marcus Kruger, so that'll be a little different when you guys see this, but for now we'll just kind of go with it. I think with Polka for here on D, another pretty young defenseman, pretty solid. This is one thing right here. It's so going with the score lists and not changing anything from what their projections were. They had Pickard being protected here, and the Avalanche have come out and announced they're actually planning on protecting Varlamov. At least the last that was reported was that. So unless something changes, Pickard will probably be here, and that's who I would take right here for sure, goalie-wise, if that were the case. So I think I will, I don't know. I guess I'll go with Varley here just to kind of stay similar to my original list that I went through. Got Jack Johnson here. Pretty solid defenseman, still only 30. What are we at? Right here, 3 defense. Okay. I think I went Alexiak. Have a hard time saying that name. Anyways, he's a restricted free agent again, but he's still young. They can match the offer if they get one, or they can get him signed there. See, some of these are a little different, so I gotta look a little closer. If it takes too long for any of these picks, I'll edit that extra space out. I went with Sheahan here originally. Let's see. think I went with Reinhardt here. Again, another young defenseman. My goal here is kind of to look at it as a fairly young team with maybe a few veterans to kind of help even them out, help them first year or two as young players continue to develop for them. You got to remember we also have the 3 players they've already signed, and then any other trades or things that could happen, and also the NHL entry draft will also add some more players to the team too. So we can remember that when we're taking a look at the final outcome here. I think it was Scarbosa here, another young center. I went with Braden McNabb here. He's 26, but he's a pretty solid defenseman. Definitely, I mean, if this is one thing, if the Wild don't move Brodin or Dumba, then Vegas is getting a heck of a young player for absolutely nothing. So that, I think, is a no-brain pick right there. No-brainer pick. Let's see. 7. Mechanic. I went with De La Rose here. Again, another young wing player there. This is another thing here that I forgot to mention. That's another thing that I don't really agree with. I think they'll probably go 4-4 here and protect Ryan Ellis also. Just can't see him wanting to give him away for that. But again, with just sticking with what their projections were, he was available, so I'll definitely take him. Don't think he'll be available when the actual draft happens, though. In that case, I probably would have went with maybe Colton or maybe Austin Watson, someone that's still kind of young, kind of gritty. Another forward there. So let's see here. I went with Bo Bennett here. With Calvin DeHaan here, again another defenseman I really like. It's a restricted free agent. They should be able to keep him by matching the contract. We're not doing too bad cap-wise so far. We're about halfway through our contract, so that's pretty good. Let's see here. With the Rangers, we got Jesper Fast. Is that how you say it? He might be an interesting choice here. Grabner could be a decent player. I think that I will go... Oh, we're already at 9 defense. That's pretty good, I guess. So, all right, we'll go with Grabner here. Yeah, some of the changes made me take more defense early here than I did in my first time through. So what are we at cap-wise? So I think originally here I went with Mark Mathot, but Bobby Ryan wasn't there. And that's a huge cap hit, but he can still score. So that might be... I think I'll still go with Mathot right now, just to keep that defensive core looking solid. But that's someone, again, I might switch around when we kind of get the final list and see what the team looks like and what the cap space looks like, because he's an interesting player, definitely overpaid, but still has some skill. Let's see here. Michael Raffle is who I took here. He's 28. I've always liked his game. I don't know why. He's maybe a third-line player. He's able to score, chip in a little bit more offensively than some third-liners. I guess maybe he would have a shot at possibly the second line in Vegas. Not really sure. But always been a guy I kind of liked. Let's see. And Olli Mata here was available. I'm not sure if he's going to be or not, if he will or won't be available. The other thing here with the Penguins that I saw is that currently Marc-Andre Fleury has a no-move clause. But there's a lot of rumors that he's going to be moved, bought out, something to that effect. So I would assume that Matt Murray will definitely be protected and will not be here. But in this situation he is, so we will go with Murray. Really solid, already won a cup. He's only 23 years old. Definitely has some holes in his game, has some things to work on. Definitely his glove side needs some work. We saw the last couple playoff games here. But player that I think has a lot of potential going forward. So we will go with him with our second goalie selection there. Let's see. What do we at cap? Let's see. Again, I'm kind of... Well, I guess he's a free agent, so that doesn't matter. Never mind. I was going to say I'm kind of tempted to go with Marlowe here, but again, his age and his cap is a little high. but he's a free agent, so there's no point in taking him here. You could always offer a contract to him later. Let's see. This is a lot different than the original time I looked at it, so I guess maybe we'll go with Chris Tierney, another young center. It's a restricted free agent, so I can match any offers he gets or accepts. Let's see, here I'm PRV. Oh, could be interesting. Agostino, Ratty. There's quite a few players. Yakupov here on the St. Louis Blues that I think would be interesting. I've got Yakupov, Ratty, Agostino. I think all those guys would have even PRV. They may not have developed to this point in their career how people thought, but maybe getting a chance with a new start in Vegas, getting a brand new look. No one scheduled ahead of them already on the depth chart. Maybe they'll have a chance to prove that they can really develop a bit more, be a little bit of a late bloomer. But something's telling me I think I want to go with Sabatka. It's a little bit of a big contract, but I feel like he brings a pretty solid defensive game. Third line player, could do a lot of good for this team for a few years. Maybe in a year or two they could move him for a draft pick or something at the trade deadline if they're looking to add more assets. Could be valuable to a cup contender, that kind of thing moving forward. Let's see here. So originally I went with this kid here, Nemesnikov. I really not sure if I'm saying that right, but he's a guy I've always kind of liked his game. He brings a little bit of some skill game to the team. I think he's shown some flashes of really good play and could definitely develop some more in the right situation potentially. This Slater guy is another guy that, again, I'd be tempted to take a look at too. Probably have to scout him and Dotchin and this kid. If these guys are all available, I'd have to bring out my scouts a little bit and ask them some more about them. But they're all guys that I kind of like and I think could develop pretty solid in the right system in the future. So go with them for now. And what are we at right now? 14 and 10. So we need another goalie at least. And then after that, we're good to go with whoever best player available, I guess. So I think Roman Pollock. So I took the first. No, who did I take here? Let's see. So I think that I'll go with Seth Griffith here. He's a pretty solid young right winger. Let's see. What do we have goalie-wise left? We got Pavel. I'll probably go with Pavlik. That would be, well, he's a UFA, but well, let's see. I've got a few more teams. What are we at? Okay, we're at the Canucks. All right, so let's go. Oh, excuse me. All right, I think that I'm gonna go with Goodbranson here. He's a 25-year-old physical defenseman. I know not a lot of people really love this guy, but I think that he brings a lot to a team and that he's got, again, some of that untapped potential that in the right system, maybe working with some of the new coaches, could definitely pick up his game a little bit. I just love the way he can clear people out in front of the net. I think if he learns to use his body a little bit better even, could definitely be a big-time defensive guy that can really make some space for people in front of the net or clear space in front of the net. So here with Capitals, we've got Osners. They're going to be free agents. Oh yeah, I think I went, okay, with here I definitely went with Shattenkirk. I know that he's going to be UFA, but the way that it's set up on, I believe, the 19th? No, the 18th. I believe the 18th to 19th, or maybe it's 2 days. Anyways, there's a time period where the Vegas Knights have an opportunity to talk to players that are going to be free agents on July 1st, and they're actually able to sign them ahead of the expansion draft. And if they do that, then that counts as their selection from that team. So right here, if they were able to convince Shattenkirk to sign a contract with them, that would count as their pick from that team, and they wouldn't pick a team from the Capitals on the 21st when they're announcing their selection. So definitely, for some reason, I just kind of have a gut feeling that Shattenkirk's going to end up with the Vegas Knights. I think it would be a interesting fit for him to go there and help with this new team that I think are going to be a lot better than people think, a lot sooner than later. It might take them a couple years to get into the playoffs, but I think they could be a team that really could be on the rise quickly with the types of people they're bringing in and the personnel and the coaches and everything. I just really like what they're doing so far, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them having a really good, quick rise up there in the rankings in the first 2-3 years. So here we'll go with Pavlik. Again, unrestricted free agent, but we'll just try to sign him. Then we'll have 3 pretty solid goalies there. I guess a lot of money wrapped up in Pavlik and Varlamov. I guess I would have taken Pickard there, and I'm pretty sure that's what it'll be, so that would be a lot lower cap there for Pickard versus Varlamov's contract. But here we go. So I've got it set up. The contracts are a little off, it says here, but that's just because 3 of the players that we picked are, well, 2 are restricted free agents, so we have to match the contract if they accept one, or we can just sign them to an extension, or the one is a UFA that we need to sign in Shattenkirk, and that's something that will be there. So if we click here on check out our view team, we can see that our cap is in a good spot. We've got quite a bit of money below the max cap. We've got our minimum 3 goalies. We've got 12 defense, 15 forwards, 30 total drafted players. Let's take a look at our lineup here. So we've got Matt Molson, Silverberg, Sobotka, Raffle, Hayes, Boma, Sheehan, Nemesnikov, Grabner, Bo Bennett, Brock McGinn, De La Rose, Seth Griffin, Chris Tierney, and Michael Skrabosa. I think that looks like an actually really solid grouping of forwards here. Got some older guys, some younger guys, a lot of skill, have some grit, some physical play. I really like that grouping of players here, and even if they were changed up a little bit, to me it's exciting to see that the Vegas Knights are going to have a chance to really have a solid team this first season in the league. And then defensively, I mean, Ellis, like I said, I'm sure he won't be there. Brodin or Dumba will, pending a trade that the Wild make to move one of them so they can protect the other. Jack Johnson, Methot, Braden McNabb, I really like him as a 26-year-old defenseman. Luke Shen, Calvin DeHaan, I like him a lot too. There's Alexiak, I believe he's a little bit more offensive-minded. Griffin, Polka, Shattenkirk, obviously most people probably know about him, definitely an offensive defenseman, one of the top, say, 5-10 in the league. Then here we've got Murray, which would probably be fighting for the starting spot right away. Varlamov, who after surgery, could bounce back, could maybe not, but probably will be Pickard there instead, and then Pavlik, just for some depth, I guess. And that should be that. So if you guys like the video, let me know. Give it a thumbs up, share it, leave some comments. Let me know if you think that I should have made different choices. If you think that the expansion thing looks like it would be kind of fun, go ahead and go over to capfriendly.com and click on the expansion draft stuff and try it yourself. And if you do that, then go over here to where it says publish at the top and send a picture of the team you ended up with in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.